Steve! Wake up! Hey, listen.
Oh, what are you doing, man?
For God's sake.
I just heard Pop got married last night.
What?
Married? Who, your father?
Where did you hear this? He's in Santa Fe, Paul. You split.
He just married somebody in Vegas last night at midnight.
Only idiots get married in Vegas. 2 idiots.
Steve, I was at the Beverly Wilshire, and this drunk walks up to me, slaps me on the shoulder, and says, "Congratulations." You know who it is? S.C. Staley. He just flew down from Vegas, saw the ceremony at the Tropicana.
Married to who?
Karen, somebody. He'd never seen her before.
I can tell you who the new Mrs. McCoy is. She's some smart working chick with a great body and a great lay who won the biggest bet in her life.
Oh, come on, Rodell. Married?
She won, baby. She won. And where does that leave you two?
Okay, get the phone. You believe this?
You bet I believe it. Well, Walter McCoy got drunk just once too often.
He could have phoned us.
When did Pop ever think of anybody else?
Hey, Rodell, what are you getting dressed for? It's still early in the morning, you know?
I got news for you, Stephen. It's awful late in the day.
And what is that supposed to mean?
That means that I put in 3 good, hard years with you, and that is great. But, Stephen, by now I thought we'd have got our act together. We'd have been married, right?
Oh, come on. Listen, will you just hang around for a bit? We'll
Hang around? And wait for Miss Big Tits to walk in? Hey, look, Stephen, I think you've got a lot of thinking to do. Paul, you're thinking the same thing. You two brothers work your asses off for your old man's construction company because one day Walter's going to give you everything, right? 50-50. Well, where do you stand now? With some broad smart enough to marry him. In one night, your stepmother goes past you to the head of the line.
Only 5 more minutes to the house, baby.
What a sensational house, Walter.
Yeah. You know I turned down $450,000 for it?
Oh.
It must be them.
In you go, baby.
Okay.
Oh, hey, fellas, I want you to meet a wonderful girl.
Congratulations.
Oh, who told you? You spoiled it.
I ran into Staley.
Oh, yeah? Well, Karen, this is Steve. That's Paul.
Hello, Steve. Paul?
Yeah, well, you know, this is kind of a surprise. You should have told us about it. We would have come up.
Well, we kind of did it in the spur of the moment. It all came real quick.
How long have you two been?
Oh, about a year?
Yeah, about that. About a year.
You live in Vegas, Karen?
For the past 2 years, yes. Actually, Walter and I met in Albuquerque.
We'll answer those vital statistics later. You guys don't unload the car. Yeah, on Sunday they look like the idle rich. But tomorrow they'll be working their asses off, same as anybody else from McCoy Construction. Well, come on, fellas, get the stuff out of the car. Oh, hey, is your sister around?
And she's spending the weekend up at Arrowhead with Jill.
Did you tell her anything?
No, we figured that you'd want to.
Okay, come on.
How old is she?
Cynthia's 17. She's a great gal. You're gonna love her. Hey, look at that. 225 feet of private beach. Couldn't find a piece of property like that today.
Mr. McCoy.
Oh, Sarah! Honey, you remember I told you about Sarah?
Mrs. McCoy, it's wonderful to have you here.
Mrs. McCoy, that still doesn't seem like it's me.
Sarah, I don't think there's going to be any changes, except now you'll have somebody who'll appreciate your cooking.
No, I'm very happy for you, Mr. McCoy.
Well, thank you, Sarah. That's damn nice. Very damn nice.
Well, what'll it be? Breakfast? Brunch?
Breakfast and French toast. Where do you see what she does with French toast?
Whatever you say. Show me upstairs, will you, please?
Yeah, sure.
You know what?
What?
They hate my guts.
Oh, honey, they don't either. And if they do, screw them.
I just want to sleep a couple of hours. We've been up all night. have looked better.
Honey, you look the way I want you to look. You just stay there by that window. That's it, and don't you pay any attention to me. Just keep going. Hold it, hold it. Yeah, that's good, baby. That's my baby. Oh, that looks sensational. That's right, baby. That's fine. That's what I like. Yeah. That's good. Right. That's what I want. Aha, that's it, that's it. Uh-huh. Great. Hold it. End of the row.
What a freak.
What a couple of freaks.
Now, you're the one who has too many clothes on.
Lady of the house, all moved in.
Yeah, I hope she's a better tipper than the old man.
What the hell do you mean he doesn't answer? Try it again. A lawyer's got to have a phone service. It's almost 9 o'clock. Hey, that reminds me, you better be out of here in 3 minutes. Where's Sleeping Beauty?
Steve's working with the gravel crew this month. They're reporting at 10:45, remember?
Where the hell are you now?
Cement. $4.25 an hour.
What the hell is wrong with $170 a week?
The withholding and the deductions are what's wrong with it. I cash $106, Pop.
Oh! My boys have it so tough, they have to live in a $500,000 beach house. All the prime ribs and steaks and booze they can lap up. They both drive $10,000 cars. Oh, the underprivileged boys my heart bleeds for. And how about those freeloading broads of yours? They like it pretty good here, don't they? Why shouldn't they? I pay all the bills. What's your beef?
Oh, come on, Pop, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You mean you both should be vice presidents working downtown because your old man owns the company. Well, let me tell you something. If you don't like where I put you, you just let me know. And then you can get the hell out of here. Is that clear? You got it? Is that clear?
Married? No, Daddy wouldn't.
Really, Cynthia, I tell you, they're married. Steve and I didn't know a damn thing either.
Well, what's she like?
Oh, you're gonna love her.
How gross. I'm on my third stepmother. They're all lousy.
We'll call it a honeymoon, huh?
Well, call a travel agent. Find out about Hawaii. Any place you want. It doesn't matter. Cynthia, honey, how are you, baby? Well, hey, guess what?
Paul told me, Daddy.
How do you like that? I can't surprise any of my kids. Sin, baby, I want you to meet my Karen.
Hello, Cynthia. I've heard so much about you.
Congratulations.
All right, you girls are gonna get along just great. Now I want you to spend the afternoon kind of getting acquainted, okay? Okay.
Just a minute, Daddy. I'll walk with you.
What are you talking about? Oh, come on, you're a big grown-up girl now. Come on, honey, you're big... I gotta go, baby.
You through with the paper?
Yeah, help yourself. What a day, huh?
It could be raining bullets. I don't think you'd have any complaints.
Oh, so that's the way you want to be, huh?
Lady, I'm kind of stuck with it, whether I like it or not.
You know, I could handle guys like you when I was 16. Why don't you just relax? Be a lot simpler.
How long? How you got it figured? 6 months a year? How long's it gonna take to knock the old man over for a bundle?
Till death do us part is the contract I signed.
And where does death do us part leave me and Paul?
How do I know? But you know, you're crazy to get teed off at me. I can handle him a lot better than you. And if you boys are good, I might get both of you a raise.
So he told you everything, huh?
When it comes to mouths, I'm an expert. And Mr. Walter McCoy has one of the biggest.
But you don't get that drunk around me. Hey, Karen, just for the hell of it, what did you really do in Vegas?
I married a millionaire.
Pick up half a day. The rains come and we can use your schedule for toilet paper.
Mr. McCoy, I ramrod everybody whenever I think it'll do any good.
How are Paul and Steve doing? Now, Mac, don't give me any bull.
No bull? Wish I had 10 more just like them.
Well, give me time. I'm just starting my honeymoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, Walter, that's much better. What's up?
Well, I've just been going through that draft you made up on my will. You gotta think of something else, Barney. Well, taxes or no taxes, I don't like a trust that I can't change my mind about. An expensive lawyer like you's gotta be able to think of something else.
Walter, you can't have it both ways.
I bet I can, and I want to sign it right now.
Okay, I'll try a different approach. Ought to be ready when we get back from Sacramento.
Sacramento? What do I need with Sacramento? Sacramento is all yours, Barney, understand?
Damn it, Walter, there are times when you have got to show up. Contributions aren't enough. Juice isn't enough. Every once in a while, the man on the payroll wants the boss to hold his hand, and this is one of those times. Now, we fly up there Friday.
Yeah. Favorite trucking stop, baby. Huh? Yeah, where do you go, huh?
Yeah. Well, you don't do so bad yourself.
All right! Everybody to the booth! Everybody into the booth!
It's 2:30, Paul. We have to drive all the way back to
Allison, you have no classes tomorrow. You told me that yourself. Besides, Karen and I are celebrating our 4th-week anniversary. Right. So everybody have a little nightcap, right?
Come on, Papa, it's getting late.
You do not give the orders around here, Sonny. I give the orders, right?
It's the hottest night of the year. Come on, everybody, into the pool or something. Come on.
Hey, okay. Come on. We'll stay. It's gonna be all right.
Yes, oh, hey, we gotta get rid of this Great Dane, right? Yeah. Hey, Paul, want to give me some glasses?
Take it easy, Walter. Don't forget, you're still the driver.
Rodell, my belle, don't you ever worry about little old Walter's driving. In the daytime, I drive pretty good. And at night, I drive great. You just ask my new bride. Don't I drive great at night, baby?
Come on, man, lay off, will you?
Lay off for what? I mean, Rodell isn't insulted, is she? Rodell, you're not insulted just because an old bozo like me thinks you're a pretty sexy dame. Huh?
No, Walter, I'm not insulted. And even if I was, you'd say anything you wanted.
A pretty smart broad, see? She knows his score. Why don't you marry her?
Who says I want to marry him?
Come on, what's the argument? Let's just pour the booze and jump in the pool.
What are you talking about? Why don't you want to marry my son? You've been sleeping together for a couple of years.
Oh, Walter, shut up.
Okay, you want to know? I'll tell you why not.
Oh, Rodell.
Look, Walter, I don't know where I stand if you really want to know. No offense, Karen. But you see, what do I get if I marry Steve? What does he get?
For God's sakes, Rodell.
Especially now, right?
Rodell, honey, that's for me to know and for you to find out. You, Allison, and my 3 kids. I'll give them something to think about. What do you think you're entitled to, Rodell?
A hell of a lot, Walter. Does that answer your question?
How do you figure that?
Because I'm just about the best there is around.
Oh, in what way?
You name it.
Oh, is that a fact? The best there is, huh, Steve? You mean the best in the body department?
Any section, top or bottom. I'll call your bluff, Walter.
Well, Karen, it looks like you're gonna have to win another contest.
I what?
You heard me. Now you parade around nude in front of 1,500 jerks on the stage. Well, this is among friends. Take it off, take it off, take it off, take it off, take it off. Take it off, take it off, take it off, take it off, take it off. Or do you only perform when it's raining $100 bills?
Certainly, Walter. Love, honor, and obey.
Hey, come on, the 2 of you, huh? Let's forget it, okay? Listen, I call it even. Come on, Rodell. The party's over. I'm taking you home.
Give you a private showing sometime, Walter.
Yeah. Hey, your old man can still pick him, can he, huh?
Listen, Karen, I'm sorry. I really am sorry.
Hey, I'm going to get you in front of my camera one of these days, right?
Sure you can afford it, Walter?
Daddy?
Good night, baby.
Daddy, could you come in my room?
In the morning, baby. In the morning, darling.
Good night, Cynthia.
Night.
No contest, baby.
You don't want to waste any of that, do you? Then what do you say?
Please, Mama. Please, Karen, baby.
Hey, Matt. I thought Mr. McCoy was still up north.
He is.
Hello. I'm Mrs. McCoy. I'd like to look around, if I may.
Oh, absolutely, Mrs. McCoy. Want me to show you around?
Oh, no, thank you. Where's Steve and Paul?
Steve is up there where they're pouring. Paul is with a gravel crew about 1 mile straight ahead up there.
Thank you.
Don't tangle with the trucks.
Wouldn't catch me going to Sacramento and leaving that.
Hell, the old man has to rest up once in a while.
It was all cold and foggy at the beach, so I decided to come down here and see what Walter's always talking about.
No, there's nothing like lunch in an air-conditioned restaurant.
Want a beer?
Terrific. Terrific. You think of everything. After a month with the old man, how's it going?
Well, it's been a lot longer than a month. Actually, it's been about a year on and off.
Yeah?
Yeah, he'd fly me to Seattle and Memphis, Houston once, New York a couple of times.
No kidding. Never would have known it.
Okay? Why shouldn't you lie? You don't know me. But all I'm saying, Steve, is that you don't have to.
Lie about what?
I know, Steve. Don't you think my friends in Vegas are still my friends? I got this investigator's report just as soon as you did. Anytime you want to know anything about Karen Petrie, anything, just ask Karen Petrie. Don't you think Walter checked me out? I told him everything. I completely leveled with him.
He's at that stupid age where he feels he's got to prove everything in the sack. Now, for all me and Paul knew, he bombed out with a $100 casino hooker.
Now, you know that's not good enough for your father.
No, I imagine some of those night games he plays must get more and more complicated. And I bet you keep them very interesting.
He's satisfied. I'll drive you back.
No, thanks. I don't want to be seen in public with the boss's wife.
Allison wanted to see something at the music center, so she and Paul are out for the evening. And Sin spent the day with Jill. They went horseback riding. You want to talk to her? You want to talk to Steve again? Okay. No, what would you like? Oh, Walter, I haven't learned how to do that over the phone. I miss you too, darling. Yeah, just call first and I'll pick you up from the airport. Okay, honey. Bye-bye.
So the old man's got Sacramento in his hip pocket, right?
Don't you know it? Hey, you know those pictures Walter's been taking? Well, they came back from the lab. You want to look at them?
But now? Sure.
you just shut up and listen? I guarantee it absolutely 100%. Yeah. McCoy Construction got the contract. 42 goddamn beautiful $1 million, that's how much. Yeah! Yeah! Well, okay, and a happy Sunday to you, too. Hey, Allison. Looks like another hot one, don't it? Feel good? Mm-hmm. Feel better?
Walter.
Well, let's go inside. Come on, let's celebrate, honey. I just got home. 42 million bucks. Celebrate either one. What's the difference? And I won't be as tired as I was last night.
Game's over.
You sure you can handle all that exercise by yourself?
Sure.
Good boy.
Jackie would be out of here by 4 o'clock because she's having a friend come in from New York, and he's
Yes, we'll be out of here by 4 o'clock. Just give me a minute, huh?
Oh, minutes.
Hey, why didn't Walter take you to Phoenix this time?
Well, he knows I hate that Phoenix scene. And anyway, I told him that I felt lousy.
Huh. That's how much he knows. Because you're never lousy.
Oh, no.
No.
Good. Oh, you don't know.
Know what?
To have somebody love me. What are we gonna do? I hate being with him. Those nights are just driving me out of my mind.
It's not just the nights. It's all the time. don't do it now, we never will. I want you, that's all. And not just for matinees.
Oh, when he finds out.
He won't be home until tomorrow night, and by then we're long gone.
I've been there before, Steve.
Not with me, you haven't.
Thank you so much, Mr. McCoy. And for first-time guests, a formality. Would you prefer to give us a check now? Or?
For through Thursday.
170 exactly, including tax.
Okay. Is this just as good?
Oh, certainly. And the charge would be McCoy Construction Company?
But why didn't I pay you cash, okay?
Surely. Valencia, the Cypress Cottage for Mr. and Mrs. McCoy.
170.
Does it make any difference?
Sure does to me.
It happens to everybody. You're just tired and you have things on your mind.
I'm always tired, and I always have things on my mind.
Will you please not treat me like Walter? You're not ready.
I'll be there in a minute.
I'll be in the bar. I didn't order.
Still vodka on the rocks? What the hell? I mean, let you talk to old friends, doesn't it?
Oh, well, sit down a minute, why don't you?
How's tricks, Karen?
It's not funny, Carl.
You look great. You always did look sensational when you look like you want to kill somebody.
How is Vegas?
Oh, still air conditioned.
How come you're over here? Those two men you were with looked like they were civilians.
I didn't know if you spotted me then when you put on the shades. Yeah, they are. I'm taking care of them for the colonel.
Ah. Will you give the colonel my regards, huh?
I certainly will. He sure wishes you were around the town. Hey, what are you doing here? That kid you checked in with, that's not the one you married.
No.
Okay, if you're working again, I just wanted to make sure. Now, these two I'm with, they played all the golf courses, right? Now they want some action.
Where are they? I didn't look that close.
At the bar. The brown houndstooth and the dude with the pipe. Hey, look, the parties we've been together. No problems, never. Usually pretty straight stuff. No freaky scenes. Listen, last time I set him up with Wendy and Hillary.
I stopped working when I was married, Carl.
Hey, Karen, I mean, man, it'd be a hell of a favor for me. I mean, set me up with them and the colonel.
I mean, look, you name it. A matinee, anytime. A couple days from now, when you're free.
What are we talking about?
500 a day.
Each.
If you want to take them both on, $1,000 a day. When do you think? Wendy said the dude with the pipe is a hell of a guy, Emmis.
Well, I'm glad I'm still in demand.
Yeah, but baby, when? I mean, they're ready.
I'll let you know.
I'm all ready.
We're going back.
Hey, what's wrong?
Everything. You, me, thinking this would work.
It can work. We got out of that place, didn't we?
Steve, neither one of us can stop thinking about him.
Listen, Karen, what do you want? Do you want me?
Hell yes, I want
All
you.
right, then.
But I don't want to worry about every damn dollar and about whether you sell your car and whether this room is 80 lousy bucks a day. I married Walter to get away from all that, Steve.
Look,
You look. Just now in the bar, I ran into a guy from Vegas. A friend. A real good friend. Do you understand? He offered me 5 bills for openers.
Oh, wow.
He's a friend, Steve. And he works for the Colonel. And he's doing me a favor. 5 for openers. And I couldn't resist trying to raise it. And he came up to a G for a duet. And I sat there like an adding machine. And I damn near took it. Isn't that sensational? I'm Mrs. Walter McCoy. And I'm thinking I better grab that 1,000 before he flies in some other chicks from Vegas. I'm all right. But we're packing and leaving and blowing 80 bucks a day.
You're serious?
Yes, I am.
What are you doing?
When Walter makes his regular call home, I sure as hell would hate to have Sarah say she doesn't know where I am.
McCoy's residence. Oh, Mrs. McCoy, I'm so glad you called.
I tried to call you several times earlier, Sarah, but you know, it's that damn telephone company again.
Well, Mr. McCoy has changed his plans, and he's getting in tonight. Paul's meeting him now.
I spent the entire day with Jackie Davis. You know, she has that bug again. I'll be home in about an hour or so. Is Steve home yet?
No, Mrs. McCoy. And I haven't heard from him either. Yes. Yes. All right. Goodbye.
Oh, God, what if he finds that note?
What note? You mean you wrote him goodbye?
I couldn't walk out on him cold. I had to tell him something. Get the car. I'll be ready. Don't get a ticket, Steve. We mustn't be seen together.
Why don't you get gas before you pick me up, Paul? My time is valuable.
I didn't have a chance. I had to work
My
too.
time is worth money, Paul.
Leave the bags.
Mrs. McCoy. McCoy and Paul. They'll be here any minute, I'm sure. About dinner. Since you weren't here, I went ahead and made the crab meat casserole.
Thank you, Sarah.
Hey, where the hell is everybody? Oh, there you are, honey. I thought you deserted me when I didn't see you at the airport.
Oh, I just had one of those days, but I'm glad you're home. How was your trip?
Yeah.
Good evening, Mr. McCoy.
Oh, boy, could I have used one of your breakfasts this morning. Oh, hey, get some drinks, will you, Steve? Sure.
Make a bucket for me, please.
You know what I want, right? Oh, hey, Paul! Paul! Damn it, honey. From now on, you're coming with you. I'm not going to leave you home alone anymore.
You ought to take some time off, honey. You really need it.
Well, maybe when we sign this contract, I will. And what the hell? I can take a month off right now if I want to. You want to go to Hawaii? Sure you like Hawaii, huh? But wait a minute. No Honolulu. Maui, maybe. But
I'd love it. Is it all right with you?
What do you decide, baby?
I thought that maybe if you guys wanted these right away.
Yeah. You know how I needed that. Hey, what do you say tonight we go out and get tanked?
I thought you'd never ask.
Hey, what are you and Rodell waiting for anyway? Wouldn't it be nice to be able to come home with something beautiful like this after a tough day in the salt mine? Hey, Steve! Hey, Steve! What? Steve, come here, man, will you? Some eager beaver in accounting is questioning a personal item. Did you charge $11 worth of gas and oil in Santa Cristina last month?
Oh, yeah, sure. I drove up to see Dick Kennewick.
In Santa Cristina? What the hell for?
Had to look at some property. He's thinking of building some spec houses.
Oh, okay, we'll charge it to the company. Take care. Hello, Sarah. Is Mrs. McCoy home?
No, sir, she isn't. I'm sorry, I can hardly hear you. There's so much static. Yes, that's much better. Well, I know that sometimes when she hasn't said, she'll stop by Miss Davis's apartment. Jackie Davis in Hollywood? Yes, sir, I'm sure I have it. Just a minute. Yes, here it is. 673-1673. Yes, that's right.
Bye, Sarah.
Bye.
Hello?
Hello? Is Karen there?
Karen? What a bad connection, Steve.
Calling from your car?
Yeah.
She's not here yet, Steve. I didn't know you two had a date today.
But it's okay. Oh, say, listen, I just noticed I'm out.
Steve? Steve, can you hear me?
On this film
is because of its socially redeeming values.
Oh, Walter, you must be boring everyone to death with this all the time.
Oh, I'm not bored, Walter. I was just envious, Karen. Hey, is that bikini one of those Bill Blass?
Does it bore you, Karen?
Oh, Walter. No, Allison, it's a, Donald Brooks.
Doesn't a growing boy like you get excited by a sexy film like this? Especially when your woman is in Acapulco? Oh, now don't be a cold-ass lady about this, Sin. There's nothing in this film you haven't seen right out here on the beach since you were 10.
I have seen your movies before, Daddy, and I do have to pack for school tomorrow. Jill's driving me to Ojai in the morning, remember?
All right, good night.
Good night.
Good night, Cynthia.
Good night, good night.
Everything's different since you've come. Everything has changed. Why don't you get out? Why don't you leave? I hate you, and I hope you die in hell!
Barney, you're not going to change my mind, so shut up, right? Just shut up. What do you mean I don't have the right? It's my life, isn't it?
Listen, something's happened. Pop's car went off a cliff at Palos Verdes this afternoon.
Jesus Christ. Is he still alive?
They haven't found him. Some surfers saw the car go in. They weren't able to reach the car, but they got close enough to read the license.
Oh, well, where's Cynthia? Anybody tell her?
I finally reached her at school, Steve. She wants to stay there for now.
How'd it happen, Paul?
Who knows? Some guys on their board saw this car sailing off over a cliff and going in.
When did it happen?
Well, I've been able to piece together his morning pretty well. He had breakfast with Karen and then was in the downtown office till about 1:15.
Then he called here between 2 and 2:15. It's just a regular phone call, perfectly normal.
Oh, well, what the hell? I'm going to Palos Verdes. Come on, man.
Wait, listen. They asked me to make sure nobody did come down. The authorities are doing everything they can, but the ocean got rough, and when the sun went down with no light, there's nothing anybody can do. We'll be first to be told anything.
I don't believe any of it. I don't understand it.
What do you mean, understand? Anyone can have an accident.
I've known that man longer than anybody in this room. Longer and sometimes I think better. There's Something that we just don't know.
Allison wanted to come out and be here. I told her not to.
Oh, good morning. I just walked in. I hope it's okay, sir.
Are you looking for somebody?
Oh, I'm Robert DiBiase, and you must be Mr. McCoy.
Yeah, Steve McCoy. What can I do for you?
Oh, I'm with the police department, Mr. McCoy. Could I talk to you for a moment?
Oh, yeah, sure. What have you found out? Found him?
No, I'm sorry, not yet. But I've noticed your guard. Fantastic.
Yeah.
What's that expression? All this in heaven, too?
Huh. Yeah, come on. Karen, Paul, this is Sergeant...
Lieutenant Robert DiBiase, LAPD. Good morning.
Yeah, this is Mrs. McCoy, my father's wife, and my brother Paul.
Howdy, pleasure. How are you?
Lieutenant, would you like some coffee? Sarah!
No, not a thing. Thank you. I'm really sorry to inconvenience everybody, but I'm just trying to get some information. I'll be a minute and on my way.
Please, sit down.
Thank you. I really love your home. I mean, it's different. You know, when I was living in Boston, this is what we imagined California to be like.
Lieutenant, they bring the car up yet?
Salvages went back out this morning, but you have to understand it's 90 feet down and very tricky to work with.
Then you haven't found my husband yet?
No, ma'am. Not in the car or washed ashore or reported anyplace else.
Anywhere else?
That's what I'm here for. Missing persons. On my ID, I thought you noticed it. Most people do.
Then you're not with a homicide.
Why should homicide be involved, Mrs. McCoy? I mean, you'd assume an accident or suicide. Car goes over the cliff, in broad daylight, road conditions dry. But it's interesting you mentioned homicide. Murder hadn't occurred to me.
Suicide had.
Well, it must have occurred to all of you. I mean, had he seemed depressed, worried, anything abnormal?
Pop just nailed down a $40 million contract.
That's interesting. Of course, the subject may not have been in the car when it left the road.
Not in it. Where else would he be?
He might have gotten out of the car to take a picture. I understand he's quite a camera buff. All right, he's taking pictures. The brake slip?
Well, if he were alive, he'd call.
No, not if he ran after the car and fell down the cliff. He could have been knocked unconscious. Or he might have picked up a hitchhiker. Thief forces subject out, steals the car, isn't familiar with the controls. Maybe that's the body we'll bring up this morning.
You know, Sergeant...
Lieutenant.
Yeah, right. You mention a lot of possibilities, but it doesn't sound to me as if you're taking any of them seriously.
No, you're right, Mr. McCoy. See, a subject with that emotional strain, suicide is much more probable.
What emotional strain?
You mean you're not aware of any?
Not at all.
Well, it's a matter of public record now anyway. You see, the insurance company is very, very concerned with this case. It's a matter of double indemnity to them. Suicide versus accidental death. And they already have a court order to inspect the autopsy report. Well, that's when and if we find him. Let me ask you something. Do you remember the 2-week trip he took starting on May 2nd, just before your marriage, as a matter of fact?
Yeah, he went to Houston to get in on a big construction contract, but he missed out.
Mr. McCoy checked into the Scripps Clinic on May 3rd. He underwent extensive tests, was continued exploratory tests from the previous year. And on May 18th, a diagnosis of inoperable cancer was confirmed.
I don't believe any of this. Where did you get this information?
It's true, Steve. It's absolutely true. You know, neither of you boys ever paid any attention to your father. You should have known something was wrong. Cynthia did. At least she knew he was worried about something. But the rest of you, you just didn't give it a thought. I was amazed, absolutely amazed.
Okay, Sarah, but how did you know?
Your father told me.
what's in his will. The insurance company has got to tell me.
Don't even mention it.
Then I'll just ask Barney, Steve.
Karen, I'm telling you, don't do a damn thing. Now, as far as the world knows, we hope that he's alive. I am a grief-stricken son, and you are a grieving widow. Yeah, this is Steve McCoy. Oh, really? Well, thank you very much, Lieutenant. No. If you want to reach me later, you can get me at 555-9694. Yeah, that's the office. Okay, anytime. Yeah, thank you. Well, they found the car, but they didn't find the body.
Got to tell Karen.
Yeah, for sure. Sarah, would you please tell Karen when she gets up she's still sleeping?
Yes, sir, I will.
Okay, thanks.
See you downtown.
Right.
Anything wrong?
Oh, it's just been sitting here for 3 days. I guess it's flooded. You okay?
Yeah. So long.
Sarah, who's been here?
Today?
Yes, who's been in this house?
No one, Mrs. McCoy. No one's been here.
Are you sure you haven't seen anyone?
No, I've been moving Mr. McCoy's clothes as you asked me to. There hasn't been a soul around the property. What's the matter with you?
I want you now, right here. I hate being cooped up in there with her and not being able to be with you.
I know. I'm going through the same thing myself.
I've never been so nervous in my life, Steve. Sleeping pills don't work. Nothing does. I've got to get out of that damn house.
It won't be long now.
Steve, at least you'll be honest with me. You must be thinking the same thing I am. You've got to be. He could be alive, couldn't he? What in the hell's going on?
Listen, Karen, listen. Barney does think he still could be alive. There's no legal proof of death yet.
Maybe Barney knows, Steve. And maybe Sarah knows.
Sarah?
Look, I found this on the patio where I couldn't miss it. I didn't buy this blouse until after he disappeared.
This morning on my car seat, there was one of Walter's cigar bands. My father's calling card.
What are you doing?
I just brought your coffee and your new prescription.
What time is it? Is Steve here?
He's at the office.
I'll take my breakfast downstairs, Sarah.
Yes, Mrs. McCoy. It's too windy to eat outside, Mrs. McCoy.
Thank you, Sarah. What are you trying to do to me?
You think I did that?
You're through, Sarah. Get out. Barney will take care of any salaries to you.
Why, Mrs. McCoy, you're making a ridiculous mistake.
Get out! I don't want you here. Pack your things and leave.
Well, the Mustang is mine. Mr. McCoy gave it to me. My name's on the pink slip if you don't believe me.
Take the damn Mustang and get out and leave me alone!
Karen, for a clever girl, I'm surprised you don't realize how much you need me.
Damn it, Sarah, I ordered you out! I don't need your advice and I don't need you!
Why did you ever come here? You've destroyed this house. You've destroyed a wonderful family and a wonderful man. You should have appreciated anything Walter did for you, but it wasn't enough. You had to take and take and take. Well, you're through taking, Karen. You're through! Get out!
Karen? Karen! Karen? Karen?
Oh, honey, where have you been?
Oh, the fog's lousy.
Oh, thank you, honey. Oh, at least let me dry.
Oh, no, I like you wet. Come on.
You too.
Yeah. No. I want to look at you.
That's so good. What is it, honey? What?
Did you hear anything?
No.
Call the patrol, Karen. Tell them to send a car. Karen? Karen!
Put on some clothes. You got to help me now.
Do what?
Now, Karen.
We're not guilty of anything. We've killed somebody who's already dead. Get rid of it. It's awkward, Barney. The whole thing's weird. Oh, what the hell. Listen, we just don't know where we stand, that's all. Karen especially. She didn't even want me to ask you this, but somewhere along the line, we got to do something.
About money?
I can hardly write a check.
I have less than $2,000 in my household account.
Well, I imagine you both have pretty good credit.
Oh, come on, Barney. There's tuition, room, and board for Cynthia at school. That's $2 grand right there.
I'm sorry, Steve. You're right. You want me to go to court and have him declared legally dead?
Yeah, we do.
Well, Karen, Steve, I can't petition for probate.
Barney, for Christ's sakes, everything has been done to try to find him, and it's 2 months now.
But I happen to know that Walter is alive.
Oh, thank God. Where is he?
What do you mean you happen to know?
Walter's a very strange character. A couple of months ago, he told me he just had to get the hell away from everything. Business, his house, you all. He had to come to some decisions.
After the doctor's report.
Well, not right after, but after your wedding. First, naturally, I thought it was his health. And he said, yes, it was, big casino, but the specialist said that he might go 6 weeks or 6 years. And he wasn't going to cash in until he had to.
Driving over the cliff.
Walter didn't. I know he didn't.
And why the hell didn't you tell us? You know what all of us have been going through.
Because I was instructed not to. And very frankly, I'm breaking those instructions now because I feel you're entitled. And also, very frankly, I didn't think it'd be this long.
If it wasn't physical, then what was bugging him?
Well, all he'd say was that it was personal and nobody else could do anything. I inferred, right or wrong, that it concerned you, Karen. But he just said he was going to drop out of sight for a while.
Oh, boy. That's really something, Barney. Okay, but look. After having pulled off this insanity and making everybody think that he's killed himself, what if something does happen, huh? I mean, what if he suddenly does drop dead? I mean, God forbid. How are you supposed to know in that case? I mean, hell, man, that cop that was out here that night, DBAC, he said that he could be wandering out there someplace with amnesia, and how would we know?
I asked him that. He said he was willing to take that risk.
But for what? What's his point in making everybody think that he's dead?
Maybe he's curious how people would act.
Act? How the hell do you expect us to act? Barney, I have been a nervous wreck, and so's everyone else.
Karen, in all this time, Walter never has tried to contact you?
What are you suggesting? That he'd sneak back here and say, hey, baby, let's ball, but don't tell anyone?
Don't fly off the handle, Karen. I just mean if you happen to know anything, you haven't told it.
Barney, it seems to me that you're stepping way out of line. No, really. I mean, you represent Karen, you represent Paul and Cynthia, you represent me. Now, we need help, and you just aren't giving us any.
Right now, I represent your father.
Well, then maybe Karen and me and Paul and Cynthia ought to find somebody else, huh?
Maybe you better. If you want to file for probate, you better have, because I won't.
Then that's just what we'll do, Barney. There are an awful lot of damn good lawyers in this town.
Just let me know. But when you do, you're going to come up against me. I represent Walter McCoy, and I represent his estate, and I'm going to protect Walter the best way I know how, dead or alive. And I sure as hell am going to bring out everything he ever told me that has any bearing on this whole damn case.
Sure, naturally.
I'll see you get some money in your checking account. I can go to the gate by myself, thanks. I've done it often enough.
You were perfect.
Listen, I think we're home free. For once, the old man outfoxed himself.
But why would Walter suspect anything? I thought we were really careful.
Who cares? Right now, we both got everything we ever wanted. Yeah, and when I go in front of the board, Mac, I may need you to back me up, you know?
Oh, don't kid yourself, Mr. McCoy. You can handle it. Like father, like son, in this case, anyway. See you in the morning.
Right.
She no home, Mr. McCoy.
Did she call Anita?
She telephoned a las 5 o'clock. She said to tell you she come back in 2 more hours.
At 7.
See. Okay, I go now, Mr. McCoy.
Yeah, sure, Anita, go ahead. Did she say where she was when she called?
She no say. Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes. Hi, honey.
How's the tycoon business today?
You know, little by little by little. How was your day?
Adequate, I guess.
What'd you do?
I bawled 3 Chicanas and a Mohammedan. What you think I did?
Come on, Karen.
Oh, come on yourself. Where'd she say I was?
Oh, Anita, she didn't know.
But you asked her, didn't you? You have to know every goddamn minute where I am.
Now, look, Karen, I merely asked, that's all.
Well, I don't think you're in any position to ask me a goddamn thing. Except, of course, to ask me if I want to.
Now, where's this all coming from, huh? Hey, listen, baby, if there were ever two people
Who needed each other more? Oh, Peter, our guilty secret joins us for eternity.
You killed him, honey, not me. And they have machines to dig up cement, too. It's just so everybody knows where everybody stands.
Oh, yeah, Miss Petrie. I'm sure everyone knows just exactly where everyone stands.
Good. Then let's just leave it at that, Steve. And I mean, drop it. Now, that has nothing to do with how good we are in bed together, does it?
Karen.
Does it? It's me. Lady Sex Machine.
Yeah, I guess you are.
What more does anybody want? I wanted you. You wanted me. It was sex. It was good sex. It was sensational sex. I need sex, Steve. I'm good at it. And I appreciate a man who's good at it, too. I like it different ways. And from different men. It's as simple as that.
Well, I gotta tell you, Karen, I won't settle for that.
Well, can you make me a better offer? Okay. Now to answer your question. I spent the entire afternoon at the Beverly Hills Hotel in the Polo Lounge. Just me and some friends from Vegas. Nobody made a pass at me. Not even the showgirls. You've got to admit he took pictures like a professional. When I'm dead, that's the way I want them to remember me. Fade out the end.
What was that?
What was what?
Sounded like somebody running.
Oh, you're as bad as nutty old Steve. He's always hearing things.
How long is it going to take me to get to the Beverly Hills Hotel?
Well, I'd say for a driver like you who doesn't go over 55, about 40 minutes.
You know the Colonel. On the dot. What do you want me to tell him?
You tell him that I look sensational, and I'm going to be a very rich widow, and that I have been wondering when he was going to go first cabin and ask for me.
He's a full-time job.
Sure. But a woman has to improve herself.
In the 11 years I've been with him, you know, there was only Victoria. And there were times when it must have been a pretty heavy scene for her. Sure, she had his private jet to run down to the grocery store. But weeks at a time in that penthouse, phew, living like that can blow your mind. Maybe that's what happened to Vicky. You sure?
Carl, I've handled freaks before. And listen, he hasn't even asked me yet.
Karen, the Colonel doesn't invite you to bungalow number 2 at the Beverly Hills Hotel at 11 o'clock at night just to play a hand of gin.
Well, I'll be there. On the dot.
11 o'clock.
Martin, you up there? Are you down here? Where are you? Karen? 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 Yeah.
I'd like to speak to Mrs. Walter McCoy, please.
She's not here. Who's calling her?
May I leave a message for her?
Who is this? Who's calling her?
Please ask her to call the Beverly Hills Hotel, Bungalow 2. It's rather urgent.
Call who at the hotel? Who is this?
It's 276-5211. Thank you so much.
Hey, wait a minute.
What the hell is this, huh? You always drive your car like that, Mr. McCoy?
I'm in a hurry, that's why.
Please put your hands on the roof of the car and spread your
come
legs.
on,
I says on the roof of the car.
Oh, wow. Since when does missing persons run this number, huh?
Please open your trunk, sir.
Hey, what is
the
happening?
trunk, Mr. McCoy.
It's Karen.
Step over to the front of my car, Mr. McCoy. You've got the right to remain silent. My car, Mr. McCoy. You read me?
Yes, Lieutenant.
Send it back up to the Trancas private road. I'm about a half-mile off the coast highway. I'm holding a suspect and a dead female.
Hey, listen, Lieutenant, I swear to God, I didn't do this.
Move it! Hell, I knew you two killed your father. I can't figure out how you did it. What'd you do, ride out the cliff with him? Put a pistol in his gut?
You're wrong, man. Wrong.
I'm wrong, huh? You had to have everything, even the widow's share. I'd have thought a guy like you and a girl like her would have been satisfied with what he left both of you.
Listen, you don't understand. Why would I kill her?
McCoy! Freeze! Freeze!